Tower defense with some old school action elements, not a rapid reaction game. This is a pretty low key and mellow. Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess is like a PS2 game in many ways from a control and gameplay standpoint. It has relatively simple strategy elements as well as combat, but also can be a bit overwhelming with the UI and how to utilize abilities and combatants. Initially, it gave Onimusha vibes, though that is not really the game we got here. From a story and art perspective, this game is very different, having a focus on mythology and culture. It is of the style that will either click and appeal or do nothing for you depending on taste. There is a traditional feel to it, with the female shrine maiden dancing to ward off demons and her silent male guardian fighting off demons which threaten her. It is a sort of simple dynamic that is more of a retro era and may feel odd to those used to the modern style of an eternally chatting protagonist, constantly telling you what to do. Save villagers and turn them into specialized units during the tower defense setup phase, then help them fight off Oni and yokai during the invasion phase, where they pour out of a portal. Collect energy to summon more, and put together small armies to protect the priestess. It is easy to grasp, and both your combat and units available start out simple and manageable and become more complex later in the game. Combat has a flow to it, meaning to look like sword dancing. So much like the visuals, there is a focus on the experience. There are options for leveling up both your skills and each of the units. Battles can become chaotic as powerful and numerous foes pour out, and using units to manage combat is essential. Areas can become larger and with more paths, meaning battlefield awareness is also needed, and the game can be surprisingly challenging and require some thought over simply brute forcing through levels. It is difficult to say who this might appeal to, having a mix of hack and slash, strategy, and artistic merits. Kunitsu-Gami is quite niche. This is an interesting game if you want something that won't feel like anything else in the past decade, and is good at what it is. However, this is definitely a risk. It is going to either scratch an itch or be hard to get into with not much in between.